Every Sunday, Bap Dada feeds us with double nourishing food. Every day's Murli is food for the soul. I think on Sundays, we are fed with Brahma Bhojan. It is called Sunday, Children's Day. And we also have time to digest that food, as even in our places, in our centers, Sunday is a holiday. It's a day in which we can spend a few hours with ourselves. And particularly in Madhuban, when we listen to Murlis of this kind as we did today, everyone feels like, going into the depth of each point Baba has explained and check within oneself what I need to improve. Because when I look at Brahmin life, I look at it as a journey, a pilgrimage. So our destination, when we are on the path of knowledge, is to become equal to the Father, Bap Saman. And what it means to become equal to the Father, it means to become full, complete, perfect, Karmateet, like Baba. Baba was experiencing Karmateet stage even when he was in the Sakar, in the corporeal form, in percentage. And many who came in contact with him in his final stages, when he was almost 99%, they would share with you the experience, how they felt, what feelings they got from Baba, even though he was an ordinary human being like all of us. They had been in his contact before, and when they had that contact with Baba in his final moments, when he was just about to reach that stage, 100%, what was those feelings? In fact, we have arrived at the same time now. That is our final paper. Karmateet stage is our final paper in our examination. And we are approaching very close to that final paper. So we have to look into Brahma Baba's life to see what he practiced, what signs were visible through his life that made us understand that he was in that Karmateet stage. One of such signs Baba explained in the Murli today itself. No, Baba said that even though Baba had so much love for children, so much love, but he was equally detached. That means he was detached from his own body and all the bodily relationships, even divine relationships, to such an extent that he did not pull anyone towards his body. That was his love. He had so much love that he did not want anyone to get pulled towards his body, because he himself was detached from his own body. And that is why he did not remember any of his children. You know the scene. Dadi Prakashmani was in front of him. Dadi Prakashmani was holding the hand at the final moments. But he was so much detached from his own body and everything of the physical that when he got a call, the bird flew in no time. That is when the effort maker form of the corporeal merged into the perfect form. That is when Baba became an angel. So these 4 stages have fine line in between. Full, complete, Karmateet, angel and perfect. So we can achieve these stages, a stage of being full, complete, Karmateet, angel, here, now, whilst we are in this body. Of course, we will be called as perfect when the pure soul gets the pure body, that is our deity form. And so I thought we just look back into some of the things that Baba has mentioned in the Murli today. What is Karmateet stage? When you want to define what is Karmateet stage, how would I define? No, just like when we want to define what is soul, we say soul is an energy made up of 3 faculties, mind, intellect and sanskaras. That is soul. So if I want to get a clear-cut definition of Karmateet stage, what it means. So I just share with you few definitions from Bab Dada's Murli itself. Karmateet stage has 3 steps. First of all, I need to go through these 3 steps in order to become Karmateet. The first step is being beyond the awareness of the body, bodily relationships, objects made out of matter, everything physical. The awareness of anything that which is physical should not be there, even in trace. So when I have gone beyond the awareness of the physical, I become subtle. That means that is one of the practices I need to become Karmateet. That is why once it was said, you have to be a yogi before you become Karmateet. You cannot be Karmateet without being a yogi. And to be a yogi soul, I need to practice this first lesson, that I am a soul, I am eternal, I am immortal, imperishable, resident of the soul world, to such an extent that I embody that awareness. That will automatically make the consciousness of the body dissolve. In other words, to go beyond the awareness of the body means to become ignorant of the knowledge of the body. Just me, the soul. So without being a yogi, I cannot go beyond the awareness. of the body. And that practice I need to do while I am in the body. Because when I go to the soul world, I am without body anyway. I am videhi, I am incorporeal. But what it means to be incorporeal, what it means to be videhi, being beyond body, that experience I need to have it now. That is why Baba said this morning, Karmateet stage means a stage in which you have gone beyond all forms of limitations. My sanskara, my habit, all these limitations should be totally disappear. That is the first step. That is why the first lesson is very, very important. The second step is to go beyond this world. That means, whilst being in this world, to go beyond this world means to die alive, as Baba said the other day. He said, you must practice while living, you are dead. Because when I practically die, I do not have anything to practice. So what it means is, I need to go beyond the effect of the opposite experiences. Like, for example, fame and defamation, happiness and sorrow, victory and defeat, profit and loss. So I need to go beyond all these opposites. So that means I am not affected by either good or bad. No, today either we get affected by bad or we get affected by good. That shows how far we are from the Karmateet stage. A soul who is coming close to the Karmateet stage will be beyond this world whilst performing action, beyond the effect of the action. And if you remember, Baba said very clearly today, beyond effect of the bondage of the action. Action you will have to do. As long as you are in the karma bhumi, the field of action. So it does not mean that because you are coming close to Karmateet stage, you go on a strike, that I am not going to do any action. See, Brahma Baba, until the last moment he did his action. He wrote letters, he gave direction, he spoke the Murli. He did not stop performing any action, but he was immune to the effect of the action. That means he was beyond the bondages of the action that he was performing. Because if I get influenced by the action, the result of the action, I am creating a bondage. No, that is why today Baba said, if you say, you like this service companion, this is the only one I would like to do service with. So that means you are under the influence of that soul sanskara. So that influence has created a bondage, a burden on my soul. So I can't fly, I can't reach Karmateet stage. Karmateet stage is a free stage. It's like a total freedom, no bondages. While in the field of action, no bondages. So the second step is that to be beyond the effect of action, beyond the world, while being in the world, being beyond the opposites. And the third one, which is very interesting, is to be beyond the senses and sense organs. Because it is the senses and sense organs that pulls me into the bondage. So this is why Baba has been telling us in the Avyakt Murlis of this season, even in the last Murli, Baba spoke about the surrender. So in order to go beyond the effect of the actions that is performed by the sense organs, I need to surrender my sense organs and I use them as God's instrument. So that is when the practice of Karan Karavanhar in two ways is important. One is I, the soul, Karanhar, the one who does. I am also Karavanhar, the one who makes the sense organs do. So I, the soul, I am the one who does and makes the sense organs do. And secondly, Baba is the Karan Karavanhar, and I am an instrument, and he is using me to perform this action. And so it is important to have this Karan Karavanhar consciousness as I perform action, so that I do the action and immediately I can remain detached from it. So the first three steps are important. And when we practice these three things together, they are connected. Body, world, and sense organs. So when we practice all these three stages together, that is when we attain Karmateet stage, incorporeal stage, Bindu stage, seed stage, whatever you want to call it. So the definition is to perform action, but being beyond the effect of the action. As I said, not to be affected by the good or the bad. You have that stability. That is what Baba said today. Because of lack of this stability, we are not able to have power to discern. And because of lack of power to discern, even though we have bondages, weaknesses, we do not recognize them, and we think that we will be able to attain Karmateet stage and deceive ourselves. The second definition of Karmateet stage is to be totally detached, being beyond, whilst performing action. So the example Baba gave was, when you are cooking some food, especially sweets, when it is ready, it doesn't stick to the pot. So then you know it is now ready. So how do I know I am coming close to Karmateet stage? Is that I will have detachment on all four corners. The more detachment, the more loving I am. So if I am loving to Baba, I can be detached from the body, bodily relations, objects, and my sanskara. These are the four corners. The more love I have for Baba, the more detachment I can experience. Why? Because when there is love for Baba, automatically I will not have any attractions, not attachment to anything that which is physical. So because of that love I get from Baba, I can easily detach. So the second definition we can say is to be beyond any form of attachment, any form of attraction, not even in the form of a golden deer. As Baba said today, sometimes, as Baba said, service companions. It's a very royal form of attachment. Only they know my sanskara. We can work together very well, or sometimes the place where we are serving, or the facilities that we are using. We make those things as our support in such a way that it deceives us in the last moments. So that is why Baba has been telling us, use the facilities. There is nothing wrong. Do service with the service companions, but not making them dependent on you. Don't make service companions your support. Don't make physical facilities your support. Let Baba be one support and one strength. So this is where we can understand, if there is something extra for one person, understand that is not detachment, that is attachment. It will not allow me to attain Karmateet stage. So no attachment, no attraction, love one and love all. You would not say, this is the only one I can do service with. This is the only place. This is the facility I need. So that support will not allow me to be free. The third definition of Karmateet stage is actually transforming the sufferings of the karma bhog, into karma yoga. That means, of course, this is our final birth, and we have to settle, physical accounts with this body through sickness and pain and suffering. But while settling, you do not feel the sorrow. You have pain, but no sorrow. That means you are transforming your suffering through karma yoga. That means through the detachment, understanding, this is my karmic account of the past, accepting, but not thinking too much about it. When we have physical sufferings in the body, pain in the body, we think more than what we have. By thinking more than what we have, we elaborate it. So we cannot experience ourselves coming closer to the Karmateet stage. It's not that you do not have pain, but you do not suffer. Pain is physical. Suffering is mental. That is why you see when dadis, when many yogis, when they have physical sickness, they have pain, but they don't have sorrow. And that is why their face is sparkling. You have heard the stories of Mama, Baba, Dadis, many seniors. Even at the time of having severe pain, no sign of sorrow on their face. And that is why their sickness has become instrument to create the fortune of many other souls. Now that is called transforming karma bhog into karma yoga. Now that is why Baba says, with yoga power, crucifix will become like a pinprick. A lot of pain is felt as if like a pinprick only. So there is no need for sorrow on the face. So that is also another sign of coming close to the Karmateet stage. The fourth definition of Karmateet means performing actions but in relationship and not in bondage. In a way, a soul who is close to Karmateet stage has so much of good karma in its account that it is able to perform neutral action. That means actions in the form of relationship, not in the form of bondage. So that is why, we have to be very, very careful about the philosophy of karma if we want to attain Karmateet stage. Why? Because as deep the philosophy of karma is, so deep the philosophy of Karmateet stage also. And both are connected. That is why Baba says, after coming to knowledge, one bad karma results with 100-fold punishment, and one good karma results with 100%, 100-fold charity. Because the philosophy of karma is deep. And so those of us who are aiming to become Bap Saman Karmateet, bodiless, incorporeal like the Father, we have to make sure that we don't increase any more karmic bondages. Because Karmateet stage is a stage in which you have settled all your karmic accounts. That is a stage. You have settled all your karmic accounts. So that means if you are performing action after that, it will be only neutral. See, this is why in Golden Age, those souls who have attained Karmateet stage, they will, when they go to Golden Age, 100% Karmateet stage. There is also percentage. Maybe not all of us will attain 100% Karmateet stage. It will be in percentage according to our effort. So those who attain 100% Karmateet stage, when they go into Golden Age, even though they are born to their parents, the parents don't give any inheritance to the children. The soul will receive the inheritance according to the karma it has performed in the previous birth. So the other definition is, Karmateet stage is a stage in which you have no accounts to settle, everything settled. You are just ready to wait for the signal to go home. That's what Baba was asking. No, are you ever ready? When Baba asks such questions, we just raise our hand without thinking what it means. Are we really ready to go home with Baba? Have we settled all our karmic accounts? Or we are still creating? Because this is the only birth in which we have to settle the past karmic accounts, and we have to create an account of charity for 21 births. So that is why one of the attention I need to keep in order to attain Karmateet stage is to think before I perform action. Make myself sit in the seat of a Trikaldarshi. Think of the consequences before I do anything. Because if I do any action which is not according to Baba's Srimad, which is Manmat or Parmat, it is definitely going to create a bondage. And a soul who has a bondage has burden, has heaviness on the head. And so when Baba is ready to go home, I cannot fly in a second with Baba because I have burden still. I have not settled. No, this is why even Mama was reminding us this slogan. Always remember that every moment is your last moment. Every breath is your last breath. So keep the slate of your mind so clean that if this moment the soul has to leave the body, nothing of the past, nothing of the karma pulls on the intellect. So that means now we are at such a stage in this knowledge where we need to finish settling all our karmic account. No more creating account, because it will become a burden. But I can perform action while reaching Karmateet stage in percentage, but I will not create any bondage. No, this is what we practically saw from Sakar Baba's life. Like in the beginning, Baba used to sit with children for hours and he would say, bring the register of each center. Baba would like to see the names of the students. And he would ask, why this one is not coming, why he is absent. So he would remember all those things. But then as he came closer and closer and closer to Karmateet stage, Baba would, like I think Dadi was sharing yesterday, they would come to Baba to say something, but taking drishti from Baba, they get answer for whatever they wanted to ask. And Baba would say, what you want to say? They will say in 2 words, Baba will understand. And the rest of the time, Baba will take them into the silence. Because a soul who is coming close to the Karmateet stage has the incorporeal consciousness and voiceless stage. So the constant awareness to go home, go home. There is a strong pull towards that deep silence. And that is why even in the last days, Baba, even he did not even like the sound of the tick of the clock. I have heard this experience from somebody, that he took off the clock that was making noise because he was in that deep silence. As if the soul was in the soul world, without body, without sound, without action, without any objects, without matter. Just the soul world with the Supreme Soul. So we have to increase that experience more and more. A stage in which I am full and complete. That is called Karmateet stage, a full and complete. Not perfect, because I can say I am perfect only when I come down into the pure body. A soul who has returned to the soul world, full and complete, is perfect. But the word perfection comes when it descends into the pure body and when the elements of the matter is also pure. That is when that form is worshipped. Karmateet stage is not worshipped. Karmateet stage is only praised. It's praiseworthy. Because you could see the signs in percentage from those souls. Now we can see even right now from Dadi Janki and Dadi Ji, they are so much with us here, and at the same time they are not here. They are beyond. So when you are in front of them, they have so much of love, but when I move beyond, when I go away, they don't remember me, but they don't forget me either. No, that is a kind of stage. So this is a beautiful, a soul who has come 100% to the Karmateet stage, they will get the right thought at the right time. Not before, nor after, just. And the action is finished. So that means there is accomplishment of every thought a Karmateet soul has. Because there is power in the thought. Because they think powerful thoughts. And the powerful thoughts actually get accomplished. So Karmateet stage actually means to be here and yet not just detached, but being beyond. Upram. Upra means the one who lives beyond. Others can feel from them that they are like incarnations. They do not belong here. They come from up above. They perform the act of giving God's message. Just like, Bap Dada comes in the body of Dadi Gulzar, and he takes the support of the body and he perform action. But how long does it take for Baba to take leave? We are just looking at him, he's already gone. That means, what it means to be Karmateet is being in the body, but not of the body. It's simple, but to practice is important. That means when you are in Karmateet stage, you could feel clearly the difference between the soul and the body. Not intellectually, I'm talking. The body is separate. I, the soul, am separate. So others can see your soul conscious stage through your feeling of that detachment. Now, when we talk about detachment means what? Separation, isn't it? So, until I become detached, I cannot go beyond. Until I go beyond, I cannot be an observer. So, that is why Baba has been telling us to practice this stage. Why? Because one of the reasons is very soon there will be upheavals in the whole world on all four corners. In the midst of such upheaval, I need to reveal my Karmateet stage. That means I need to remain stable in my original eternal stage, not being affected by what is happening. So it needs a long period of practice. So this is why Baba is emphasizing on this practice during this whole season's Murli, that I need to go back to lesson 1 and embody that lesson to such an extent I can really feel I, the soul, a being of light, I am separate from the body, my instrument which I have taken on loan. See, one of the practices that helps us to attain Karmateet stage is the consciousness of being an incarnation. Incarnation means the one who comes from the soul world, enters the body, performs the action, and then return. They do not stay. So if I want to bring my Karmateet stage closer, this is what I need to practice, so that I am not attracted by any glitters, any attraction in the form of golden tear in this world. I am not even attracted by my own body, which is like a snake. I am not even pulled by any things made out of matter, because I come from the incorporeal world. I enter this body and I perform action and I immediately return. So an incarnated soul cannot create any karmic accounts. So it is a pure soul. So this consciousness of being an incarnation helps me to be in the body, perform action, and not create any karmic accounts. And settle the karmic accounts, if there are any, as a pinprick, not in the form of a crucifix. So this is why the soul needs to experience itself being contented and full. Otherwise, I cannot attain Karmateet stage. I need to become ignorant of the word desire. So let me ask myself, have I become really ignorant of the word desire? In other words, Have I become the embodiment of all attainments? Or in simple words, am I a contented soul? Am I a jewel of contentment? So if I am, there is nothing lacking. If there is nothing lacking, why will my intellect bow to somebody? I am full and I am complete. So I need to check. This is what Baba said. You need to have a subtle intellect to check the subtle strings. We have checked our bondages in the form of rope, but now we have to check our bondages in the form of strings, very tiny, that has bound each other, is not letting us fly in the flying stage. No, for that only we need a clear intellect, a clean intellect. Because when I see my own string, bondage, I am able to create disinterest for it and remove it from the heart. As Baba said today, if somebody else will tell you that this is an attachment you have with this person, it is not good for you, we try to justify, we try to prove, no, I don't have attachment. But in case, if I cannot recognize, this is what I would like to suggest sometimes, if somebody else has a better discerning power, their vision is better, and if they give me an advice, especially any seniors, out of love and mercy for me, I should thank them for saving me from creating more bondages with that soul, instead of getting upset and try to justify. Because what happens is that I will continue to create more and more bondages. And it will be a time where I don't have any more time to settle them. So now, what Dadi wants all of us to do today, after listening to Baba's Murli, is to look deep into our soul with a magnifying glass, with the power to discern, keeping our intellect clean and clear. Is there any strings attached to anybody? First of all, my body. Some of us are attached to our own body to such an extent. I read in one Murli, Baba was talking about Karmateet, this stage, and Baba said, sometimes we may not have any bondages, but you have bondage with your own body. You say that if I eat this, my body will get sick. If I don't get this, my body will get sick. This is the way of my living. I need these facilities. So what it means that I am bound to my own body, isn't it? See, one thing is to have attention and look after the body, that is a separate matter. But if I become too much attached to my body, and then I am not able to let go of it, then that is also a bondage. So let me check first of all, is there any string attached to my own body? Then secondly, bodily relations. Laukik and alaukik. I think most of us who are here, we have cut off from the laukik bondages very easily. Because we have had enough experience of the past, and we say, wow, enough is enough. I don't want any more. No? We break from the laukik very easily on the basis of our experience, on the basis of other people's experience, whatever. But then we come here and we get caught up in the golden strings. Iron one is easy to detect, but the golden one, I like the way this one speaks, I like the way this one conducts yoga, I like the way this one does this. So, Baba says, you may say you don't have desire, but when you say you like a particular person, particular person's body, what it means? It's like attraction to the physical, isn't it? So I need to have mercy on myself and see thoroughly. And you can see that very clearly when you sit in meditation, Your intellect will definitely get pulled towards that person with whom you have extra love. Extra. Love is okay. Extra. That is what Baba said, black stone in the dal. That extra. That is a stain in the soul. So let me check thoroughly, is there any extra for somebody in the Brahmin life, Brahmin family? No. If I love all. This is one of the sign of Karmateet stage. That there is equality, same vision for all souls. There is no difference. That is how when you know that you are on the unlimited. Once we asked Dadi Kumarika this question, that how does she know that she is on the unlimited all the time? She never comes into any limitation. So she gave a beautiful answer. She said, whoever comes in front of me, I have equal vision for all. I see everyone as souls, no matter it is a little child, an old man, an educated person, a minister, a prime minister, anybody. I see them as souls. And that is why they feel the belongingness. The second thing, how do I verify my equal vision from others? That they feel the belongingness. When you have equal vision for all souls, the souls with whom you have had interaction, they feel you belong to them. And you feel they belong to you. The feeling of belongingness. So that means you have gone beyond any limitations, no? So that is what I need to check today. Dadi wants us to give in writing our realizations, no? So is there any string attached to any person or any objects, facilities? Because some of us are used to sleep on nice beds and some of us are used to live very comfortably. So sometimes when those facilities are not available, we feel we got sick. In the yagya what Baba did? For 15 days, he gave the test of eating millet roti and buttermilk, 15 days. And those people who were well, they said they will get sick, if they eat that. And Baba said, even those who are sick must eat that food only. Actually, they got well. Because it was, according to Baba's direction, whatever was fed from the yagya, it is going to be okay for the body. Now, sometimes we have preferences, so it is our intellect, mind that affects the body. See, these things are very little, but it will deceive us in the last moments. And instead of remembering Baba, we will be remembering that thing, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I may leave the body thinking about it. So, is there any string attached to any physical comforts? Or any sanskara or nature of anybody? No, that is why Baba says, even within the Brahmin family, you should never ever have the sanskar of getting impressed. This is really a vice, a royal vice, will not allow us to attain Karmateet stage. Yes, appreciation is fine, admiration is okay, but not getting impressed. Why? Because when you get impressed by a soul, your intellect is under the influence of that soul. You bow your intellect to that soul, the intellect is disconnected even for few minutes from Baba. So that time when your intellect is under the influence of that soul, your intellect is disconnected. So that is a sin. It is like being unloyal to Baba. I said to Baba, you are mine and no one else. And now I am going and, surrendering my intellect to someone else, that you are everything to me. So I need to check Do I get impressed by anybody's sanskara nature? Or sometimes it could happen, I can get impressed by my own sanskara too. I am so good, like Baba said today, oh, I am moving very well, I am making very good effort, I am a very good yogi, and I am going to attain Karmateet stage anyway. So I may also get impressed. So that should also not happen, because it is a deception. It's like a mirage. So this is what I need to check today, the obstacle that comes in attaining that 100% Karmateet stage. Now, as I said in the beginning, we are all achieving Karmateet stage percentage-wise. There is no doubt about it. But our aim is to become like Baba. 100%. So for that, this kind of checking is necessary. So that I can let go. I experience Jivan Mukti. That is what Baba said. Karmateet, Yoga Yukt and Jivan Mukt. All three go together. If you are Karmateet, your yoga of intellect should be accurately linked with Baba. And then if my intellect is accurately linked, I will experience Jivan Mukti. That means liberation in life while I am here in this life. That means no bondages. Now, what is the experience of Jivan Mukti of the confluence age? Anybody has experience? Jivan Mukti of the confluence age, because when we are in Jivan Mukti in golden age, we don't even know we are in Jivan Mukti. So what is the experience of a soul who experiences Jivan Mukti of the confluence age? After all, this is our first birth, no? Actually, it is super sensuous joy. Atindriya Sukh. That means happiness beyond senses. Your happiness is not based on any senses and sense organs. It's happiness beyond senses. No, that is why in golden age, they have everything, but they don't have the consciousness of having everything. So they are always happy. So if I am experiencing that liberation, not just freedom. See, when you are detached, you can experience freedom. But when you are beyond and Karmateet, you experience liberation. That means total freedom. Being on the unlimited. Nothing and no one can pull my intellect. No one can pull my intellect. No, that's why I was remembering what Jagdish Bhai used to say when he was in the body. He always used to tell us, that you should make sure that you love everyone, but you don't love anyone more than you love Baba. That is a danger point. Because if you love anyone more than you love Baba, that is an obstacle in your Karmateet stage. And the second thing he always used to say was, don't allow anyone to love you more than they love Baba. Because if you allow anybody to love you more than they love Baba, then you become an obstacle in their stage. So neither I come in between anyone nor I allow anyone to come in between me. So that means I am loving and detached. So I should not love anyone for the sake of being loved. I should love everyone for the sake of being loving. That is called angel. Why I love? Because it is I, the soul, I am love, and God is ocean of love. So the more I have love, the more I am detached. Detached means see everything, know everything, and yet remain beyond the effect. Baba is detached, isn't it? Does he not love us? He loves us so much, but he is detached. That means he is not affected by whatever weakness we have, whatever shortcomings, he doesn't stop his work. So detachment means continue to do your duty of giving without being affected by the weakness or shortcomings of others. Because each soul is an individual soul. They have their own part to play. All that I can do is observe them as a detached observer, not getting affected. Now, this is a practical sign we saw from Baba's Karmateet stage, is that on one side, the last moment, the day Baba became awake, we knew that Baba had pain in his heart. And no, even though he had pain, but there was no sign that was shown on the face. So there was this two things going on. He was using his yoga power, and then yog bal, and then karma bhog. But he was able to conquer karma bhog with his yoga power. His yoga power exceeded the karma bhog. And so he became Karmateet. So we have to increase our yoga power. When I say increasing the yoga power means not only the quantity, 4 hours, 8 hours like that, but the quality also. We need to accumulate some amount of yoga that could work like fire, that could become like a fiery foam that will destroy not only my karmic account, but it will help to destroy the impurities in the elements of matter also. That is why in order to attain Karmateet stage, we need to pay a lot of attention to yoga, lot of attention to silence. It's a natural pull, because the soul always has this concern within oneself. Now I have to go home. It's time to go home. So that continuous thought is there, a pull. So it automatically detaches itself from what it was. So this is why Babu was pointing out today, the two main supports that we are holding on to, that becomes an obstacle. And one important door, Baba has pointed out in the last Murli of the season, the door of my I. This is the door through which Maya tries to come to destroy us from attaining the Karmateet stage. So I need to make sure that I consciousness is totally surrendered. So that I doesn't there anymore. It is surrendered, sacrificed. The consciousness of I can come in the form of ego, or it can come in the form of weakness. I remember somebody asked this question to Dadi Janki the other day somewhere. So why is that nowadays people, one moment they are laughing and so happy, smiling, and next moment they are so depressed and crying like that? Why so quick changes? So Dadi said very good point. She said, because one moment people think they are everything. I am everything. There is no one like me in this world. So they are so happy. And next moment, I am nothing, useless. So they're totally depressed. They feel like crying. So one slogan we should always keep in our mind, not to go through that experience. Always having stability, to always remain seated on the seat of our self-sovereignty, which is the seat of Karmateet stage. The throne on which you sit when you attain Karmateet stage is the seat of self-sovereignty. No, that is why Baba has been emphasizing so much for us to practice, conducting this court and calling the meeting of our servants and subjects and looking after our kingdom. Because if I am not a self-sovereign, I cannot attain Karmateet stage. Because that is the seat of that stage. That is the throne. And so if I train myself, and if I have this consciousness always, that no one is, better than me, and I am no worse than anyone. No one is better than me, and I am not worse than anyone. So that will give me the understanding to know what I am. Because one of the requirements to attain Karmateet stage is to know Baba as he is, what he is, and who he is. At the same time, to know myself, what I am, who I am, and as I am. The other thing I was thinking about, checking oneself, how close I am to Karmateet stage, is through my actions, whether the actions are performed in the form of relationship with the sense organs or in the form of bondage. Now, how do I check that? Suppose if I am performing mundane actions, any mundane actions, while performing those actions, if my mind and intellect is wandering elsewhere, and if you check the thoughts where the mind and intellect is wandering, it's always after some desires. So that means I am in the bondage of action. I am performing action in bondage. Because my mind and intellect is not stable in the action in which I am engaged. And if you look at the mind and intellect where it was wandering, it's always after some desire, expectation. Now I am doing this action, so whoever will come and see, they will admire it, they appreciate it, they will say it was well done. That kind of thought. And then when you perform actions, you are wanting to hear the follow-up. And when you do not receive a good follow-up, you become disheartened. Or even if someone doesn't say anything, no good, no bad, also you get disappointed. So that means I was in the bondage of action. I was allowing the sense organs to dictate me to do the action. But if I am in relationship, I will perform the action. My mind and intellect is stable in the action that I am performing. And so after that action is finished, I never think about it. So that means I don't have any bondage. You understand? So very often this happens. Once Avyak Babdada said in the Murli, say in an exhibition, you are explaining to 10 people in a group. So 8 of them are quiet. They are not saying anything. Only 2 people talking a lot. They are praising you. They are admiring the knowledge and everything. So where your attention mostly go to? You think these 8 people are not understanding anything, they are not saying anything, I am wasting time after these people. Only these 2 are understanding. We think that way. But in fact, actually, my intellect is drawn because I got carried away, not they got carried away by Baba. I got carried away by what they are saying because this is what I was expecting. So the same thing happens in many, many actions, So I can check during the day whether I am creating tiny, tiny bondages. Maybe not big one, but then it creates burden on the soul. It doesn't allow me to fly. Now the second thing I wanted to share was, in bhakti, people say that soul is immune to action. You can do anything you like, the soul is pure as it is. When you die, the body gets everything and they burn the body and the soul is pure. Soul is not affected by the good and bad. But in fact, it was the soul who was carrying the actions, isn't it? And that is why today we are experiencing all the karmic accounts of the past. And today Baba made that very clear. Karmateet stage is not immune to action, but immune to the bondage of the action. You will still continue to perform action, but you will be immune to the bondages. You will be immune to the effect. That means you will not be waiting to hear the praise or applaud or the result of the action that is being done. So that means I am not carrying any burden. That is why a Karmateet soul is an angel. 100% Karmateet stage means angel. What did Baba become? Karmateet angel. Angel means no burden, no difficulty, bestower of blessing. So what is Karmateet stage in that sense? A soul having no burden, no difficulty, always double light. So that is why I said the fine line, First I have to be full, then I become complete. That leads me to Karmateet stage angel, and then you become perfect deity. So in this confluence stage, we need to work for this qualification. Full, complete, Karmateet angel. So in percentage we are moving towards that stage, but Baba wants us 100% to become Bap Saman. So that means we have to follow the footsteps of Baba if you want to attain the same percentage to come together with Baba in the beginning of the golden age. So that is why let us not become careless. One of the obstacles that comes in not allowing us to make that effort is carelessness. Taking things for granted. It's okay, we will make it up at the last moment. No. Whatever we have to do it now. If I don't do it now, I will never do it. But if I do it now, it will be for every kalpa. In that way, it will enhance our speed of effort. So, revise the Murli of today again and again, and according to Dadi's wish, those who would like to give in writing your realizations, your special insight, what touched you, what transformation you have brought after listening to the Murli, you can write a little slip and pass it on to me. I will pass it on to Dadiji. Okay, so any questions? We have 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Anybody, any question? If you have questions, put your hand up and we will pass it. Come in the front and we will give you a mic. Yeah. Anybody else has any question? Come. No, others will hear because the translators must also listen to the question.
Sister, I listened to what you said, and I thought, oh my God, how am I going to remember all this? Can't you possibly put this on a cassette and we can listen and work for it?
Yeah, it is there.
That's an awful lot for us to comprehend.
That's a very simple question, easy to answer. The cassette is available. Maybe you can get it by this evening or tomorrow.
Are you going to put one on?
Yes.
Oh, amen. Thank you, Baba.
Any other question, anyone? Yes? You can put your hands up. So everything is clear already. Come, please, come. See, anyone can reach any stage. There is still time. Don't lose hope. Last go fast and fast go first. We are all running the race. Anyone can reach any stage, provided we make the right effort according to that.
Could you explain a little more, elaborate on transforming karma yoga into karma yoga?
On. Okay.
Could you speak a little bit on transforming karma bhog into karma yoga? And what is the translation of karma bhog also?
Karma bhog, I mentioned, sufferings of karma. When physical sickness becomes a mental torture, That's it. You know, sometimes it is a physical pain, but it can turn into mental torture. Because when some sickness is for a long period of time, that is what we say, it is karmic account that I am settling. But if I have that understanding that I am responsible for settling that karma, I will not have sorrow even when I have the pain. Because I am not, it is not somebody else who has caused that pain for me. I am the one who has, it's self-inflicted pain. So I cannot blame anyone. I cannot point my fingers towards anyone. I have to swallow that pain. So when I accept it, it changes into yoga. So then my mind is in tune with Baba. I take that power to tolerate. So the sorrow does not show on my face. You know, so it is we're experiencing mental torture in physical pain. That is called karma bhogna, you know. It's a kind of a sorrow with sufferings and all that. But because I have the knowledge of karma, and I know I am responsible for what I am going through, I turn my mind within and I accept it and I remember Baba and take that power to tolerate and transform a crucifix into a pinprick. Yeah. Come in the front here. Come in the front here. Okay. I want to hear.
Sister, can you help me to explain what is meant to hold on the finger of Baba?
Hold?
To hold, you hold the finger of Baba.
Hold Baba's finger?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, holding Baba's finger is like, surrendering my intellect and following Baba's Srimad. Because Srimad is the hand. So holding Baba's hand is like following Srimad. And for that I have to surrender my intellect. So when I give my finger, Baba gives his finger. So sometimes we ask this question, do you like to hold Baba's finger and walk, or would you like to give your finger to Baba? Which is better? Hold Baba's finger. Sometimes you may lose it. No, I'm talking about only one, not two. It's better to give my finger, so he will be responsible to hold me. If I hold his finger, I may let go of it also in this mela, Jamela. But if I give my finger to him, I can be carefree. He has to hold it. That means surrender my ego of intellect to him. He doesn't want my intellect. He got his better intellect anyway. Sometimes we think about surrendering our intellect, but he doesn't need my intellect. He is the intellect of all the intellectuals. But what he is asking me to do is to surrender the ego of the intellect so that he can work on me. So that means I have given the finger. Then he is able to work through me the way he likes to. So then I can be carefree king. Yes, the sister who wanted to ask something? Come.
Shanti, excuse me, it's okay.
It's okay, speak slowly.
A little English.
Okay.
You say it's easy to no have attachment for Lokik, but for children, when mother are children, and also when the children suffer, is suffering. Suffer, yeah. How to do to not attach?
Actually, see, when we come to knowledge, we understand the difference between love and attachment, right? Before we used to mix up love as attachment as love. Now we have a clear understanding. Love means it is pure feelings for the soul. Attachment is connected with the body. Why is that I feel sorrow when my child has pain? There are many children who has pain in the world. I don't feel sorrow about it. So that means because he is my blood relation, so my attachment is because of the blood relationship. So that is going to give me sorrow. That is a perverted form of love. It is love for the body and not for the soul. So I need to make myself understand. I am not giving freedom to that soul. I am making that soul dependent on me. And I am depending on that soul for my happiness. So both of us are tying each other. It is not good. So let me learn to love the soul. Look at that person as a soul, because love is in the soul and not in the body. See, there are 3 types of love in the world. One is love for sex, that is called lust. Love with the bodily relationship because of the blood relationship, that is attachment. The third type of love is called devotion, which is totally devoid of any impurity. And so if I have changed that attachment into love, then I don't feel the hurt, suffering. I am able to do what I am supposed to do. I fulfill my responsibility without getting sorrow. So then you know you have love. Because you have to fulfill your responsibility to your children. Detachment does not mean that you isolate yourself from them or you run away from them. But you can still be with them, look after the children, look after the family, but not out of that pull for the body, but as a duty, trustee. That is what Baba says. So then you don't take the sorrow. That is what somebody was saying the other day. A mother, she did not know she had attachment for 20 years being in knowledge. One day the child got very sick and he had very bad throat, and he was, in the night, middle of the night, he was screaming, "Mother, mother, I want honey," like with a lot of pain. The moment she also start feeling the pain in her heart. The more he will scream, she will also feel the pain. Then she realized, why this is happening to me? Then she knew she had attachment. So because of her attachment, what happened? She couldn't see the honey. It was in front of her in the bottle. But her intellect was totally closed. Her eyes were open. Even in front of her, she couldn't see the honey. Then she went and sat in front of Baba. What is happening? Then she realized that this is attachment. She should now transform that attachment into love. And after some time, when she understood, and next morning, she opened the cupboard, the honey was right in front there. See, when you have attachment, your intellect doesn't work properly. You think wrong as right and right as wrong. So that's why we have to understand the difference between love and attachment. Then we'll be able to break attachment but have love for them.